Have you been unsure about whether changing the price of an Etsy listing will affect its performance? If you're curious, that's what we're talking about on this episode of With a Twist. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of With a Twist,
the show where we kick back and grab a drink and answer your burning Etsy questions, which we know you have so many of.
I'm Lisa from Marmalade.
And I'm Jade from Marmalade.
Actually, the first thing we're going to talk about today, as usual, is what we're drinking. So what are we drinking today, Jade?
Today we're drinking a
Paloma,
the Texas steak cocktail. So shout out to Texas.
They do everything big in Texas.
We will link the recipe for this drink below, but it's basically grapefruit, tequila, lime juice, and soda water, which makes for a great drink. If you didn't know this about us, we're a pretty big fan of good tequila.
That's true.
In fact, Lisa Ritchie, one of Marmalade's co-founders, and Allie, Ritchie's wife, and I all did a tequila tasting, and it was a ton of fun.
We actually found some, like, what would you call that, mid-level tequila that tasted better than the most expensive tequila that they served at that tasting. So
yes, we liked it way better. So if you're curious about what brand of tequila was our favorite, hit us up in the comments below and we will let you in on the secret.
Because if we told you here,
oh man,
we'd have to kill ya.
Anyway, in today's episode, we're answering a question submitted by Heather Stenlocki, which I'm hoping is how you pronounce that.
That's what I'm voting on.
Yes. So Heather asked, will changing the price of your Etsy listing affect it, especially if it's your best performer?
And that's a great question. So thank you, Heather, for submitting that question to us. I see that Jade had to take a drink before we dove in. So,
I do, yes.
Thank you for the question. So what we're going to do with your question is assume that you're asking that if changing the price of your listing is going to affect the way Etsy's algorithm places that listing in search. And of course, the simple answer to that question is no, not technically, which is not perfectly simple. But don't worry, we're going to elaborate on that in just a second. And now it's my turn to drink.
But first, there is no evidence that Etsy's algorithm will boost or throttle your listing based on its price. So if you're considering a price increase, but you're kind of hesitant that your listings are going to stop performing well in search, you can leave those fears at the door and raise your prices.
Now for a little bit of that elaboration that I was talking about just a couple seconds ago. First, before you go ahead and bump your prices by,
the ice maker,
by 5 to 10% or whatever, make sure you watch our last video all about how to raise your prices the right way. Mm-hmm. So do that first. Now,
and the dishwasher, this happened in another video.
Yeah.
So
Now here's why raising your prices won't technically harm your listings according to the algorithm. So your listing price is, for all intents and purposes, the baseline for your product's public perception, right? And what we mean by that is that shoppers are going to be comparing your listings to a bunch of other listings that appear in front of them in their search results.
Right. So with each product that they browse through, they're probably going to come across different materials, colors, sizes, etc. But one of the major constant variables among all of these products is going to be its price. Right. For a large percentage of shoppers, that will be where their eyes go first. I know it's where my eyes usually go first when I'm looking at to get something. Mm-hmm. And that's because price is what sets a shopper's expectation from the very start. So all shoppers typically have a range in mind for what they want to spend, and they usually have no intentions of deviating from that range. So if they're looking for a mid-range product only, then it's doubtful that they'll dip their toes in the premium market range.
In other words, while your listing price does not directly affect the algorithm, it does indirectly affect it. So it does that by affecting the way shoppers interact with your product, which again can have a big impact on Etsy's algorithm. So for instance,
it's like everything started going off at one time. So anyway, keep going.
If you sell a premium product that's at the top of the price range for your market, then you're going to have fewer conversions than some of your lower priced competitors, right? And that's because if you draw shoppers into your listing page, they like what they see, poke around for a bit, but then they go and check out your price and it's too high for what you're offering, they're likely going to bounce out.
Right. So now the small hit to your conversion rate will have a slight effect on your listing performance, but it is nothing major. But if it becomes a pattern, then you'll need to make some changes on your end. So either you can do that by lowering your price to better fit in with your market, or by dressing it up, by dressing up the other parts of your listing. So your photos, descriptions, etc., to prove to shoppers that your premium product is actually worth the premium price tag that you're charging.
I want to take a moment to say thank you for tuning in to With a Twist by Marmalade. Marmalade uses machine learning to guide you to real keywords that Etsy shoppers are using every day in search. Spend more time creating the products you love and let Marmalade help take the confusion out of Etsy SEO. Learn more in the description or at Marmalade, which is MARMALEAD.com.
Now that we've established that your listing price doesn't necessarily affect the way Etsy's algorithm places it in search, we're going to have a quick conversation about shipping prices.
So your shipping price actually does have an effect. And this is something that Etsy has clearly stated, very clearly, in fact, will affect your listing in search results. And it works by offering free shipping or by offering Etsy's free shipping guarantee for all of your listings.
Right. So if you have either of these set up for your shop, then Etsy will give you the free shipping badge for your listings in search. And again, Etsy has said that those listings are going to get a bump in search. Now, we've heard and seen through our own research that that bump isn't massive, right? So if you have items where free shipping makes sense, or where, let's say most sellers in your niche are offering it and you're not, so they're beating you to that sale, then I definitely consider it, right? But if it doesn't make sense for you and your shop, maybe you'll lose money by offering it. Our perception, at least thus far, is that not offering free shipping, if it doesn't make sense for your shop, it's probably not going to kill it. And just kind of a final parting shot with regard to shipping. Do keep in mind that the shipping options in your dashboard are toggle on, toggle off options, and not like a listing by listing option. So if you toggle on that option of free shipping in your dashboard, it means that you're offering it across all of your listings. So that's just something to be aware of.
And I think that's all we have for you today.
Yeah. So if you've enjoyed this video,
subscribe to our channel and our drinks.
If you've enjoyed the video and our drinks, subscribe to our channel
for more help with your Etsy shop. And if you want to see your questions featured on a future episode of With a Twist, drop your Etsy questions down in the comments below and let us know, what drink should we try next time?
And also let us know if you know any refrigerator repairmen in
dishwasher
the Chattanooga area, as our dishwasher and refrigerator seem to be making all kinds of noises. So anyways,
thanks for watching, and as always, happy selling.